right, everybody, it is Tuesday night. This is the Fun Fest that is up for discussion live here on PTV. I am Jeff Sylvia, your host, joined by the luminous and always lovely Shannon Sylvia. Shannon, how are you, kiddo?
I'm luminous.
Luminous and lovely.
Every week I'm luminous.
Yeah, that's because
the makeup.
We're so freaking pasty. That's why.
I know, it's pretty.
the studio lighting is now making us glow because of our lack of a suntan, kid.
I have never looked so Irish in my life.
No, me neither.
I have never been so pale in my life. I can see every vein in my body. It's disgusting. I'm like a heroin addict's dream. It's disgusting.
Where do you come up with this shit, anyway?
I don't know. I'm looking at my veins.
Looking at your veins? What the hell's going on with your veins?
Because I'm so pale, I can see all the blue stuff underneath. Like the whole
kit
juxtaposition as to where everything is.
Jesus.
It's crazy. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm pasty for a Portuguese guy. This is like the first year we've never gone south anywhere. So I mean, look at this. I got a reflection going on. I'm white as a ghost.
You're the whitest I've ever seen.
This is the whitest I've ever been.
Well, I've been getting my vitamin D in pill form, but I think you, however, are not faring so well. I've offered to share my prescription with you.
I'm going to have to take you up on that pretty soon, kid.
We're just going to be so morose walking around the house here. We're not even going to know our names. We're going to be like, hi, Jeff.
I know. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Nancy, rescue us. We need California badly.
We definitely need California. We need any place south or west. Although some parts of the West Coast right now are getting battered with snow.
Yeah, I don't want to go to California right now. I'd rather go when it's not snowing.
Well, Southern California.
Where is it safe in this country right now?
There's no place safe. Hawaii.
It's so weird. We're going to talk to somebody tonight who's in Afghanistan, and the weather's probably, as perfect as an oasis, an island oasis that you see in a movie with the harem girls. It's probably so beautiful there. It's ridiculous. And here it's just been apocalyptic weather across the map for everybody. From sinkholes to major storms to a foot of snow in Texas last week. I mean, what the hell is going on here? If Al Gore hasn't made a point yet about global warming, I don't know when these people are going to wake up and smell the coffee.
And now in this new segment, Shannon Sylvia with the news.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just
you're covering it all, kid. Good job.
We're about to get a foot of snow tomorrow. I'm just so freaking sick of it. It's really bad. I mean, Massachusetts has seen enough snow. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure you guys that don't even get snow, you've seen enough snow, but what the hell? I just can't take it anymore. I can't. I'm going to just have a conniption fit.
I've absolutely had it. I had it during the last storm. Last year we had one storm, Halloween, and then we didn't have snow for the rest of the year. And this time they were saying last year it was in the 70s, Shannon. 70s.
In March, I believe it. Yes,
yeah,
it was beautiful in March because that's how we got such an early spring and everything. All the leaves started springing 3 or 4 weeks early.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was the best spring ever. It lasted forever. We had the best spring and summer known to man. As long as I can remember. But F winter, man. I know that little fuzzy brown thing on TV saw a shadow and that spring was supposed to be what? When is spring?
Screw him, dude.
I can't believe Easter's in March. This is seriously the end of the world.
Easter is, I believe it's March 31st this year.
When is Easter ever in March? I know. I pulled up the calendar and it's happened a few times, but...
Well, it's very well could be the end of the world. It's
really messing me up.
We've got no friggin' Pope. We got no Pope.
You know what? All right. This is... Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry. And I know that our guest tonight just got into it with her on my wall about the Pope. But my mother... I said, the Pope quit. And my mother's up there on my Facebook post, blah, 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 blah. His health is failing, and he has every right to. I'm like, Mom, in 600 years, no one's ever thrown in the popal towel right there. Yeah. All of a sudden, the Pope's quitting, and this is supposed to be normal for us? So today, did you hear the news about the Pope? Not the Pope. There was a bishop or a priest in Rome, in Vatican City, that actually tore up a photo of Pope Benedict in front of his parishioners today. Wow. He pulled a Sinead O'Connor.
Really?
Except for it was more shocking when the real dude did it, not Sinead O'Connor. I mean, the guy was trying to make a point. He said popes don't quit.
Well, Kenny Biddle says the Pope quit because he got word that the Death Star is finally done.
Yeah.
So it's very possible. It's very possible that they got word to the Vatican. Could all be that. It's going to be one of those times when you remember where you were, honey. That's all. Kind of like this past weekend on Saturday when you were with fellow author Katie Boyd right there. That's a shot from Barnes & Noble here in Leominster, Massachusetts. It's your very first book signing, kid. How did that go?
was so good. We sold a lot of books. I am so grateful that we were able to do my first signing, and it was just such a great time. I'm so sorry that you had to sit there for 4 hours with Becca and watch.
Oh, we had fun. We had a good time.
I
We
just
shopped.
can't believe that I was like in front of Barnes and Noble signing books. Like, it was just really crazy. Crazy. But a lot of my friends came out to support us, and they bought a book or two, and my dad came in and got the book signed, and it was just so nice, you know. And people, it's a lot like a convention, though, you know. People walk into the store and they see your big poster, and then they look at you and they look at the book and they flip the book over and they read for about a minute. They flip the book back over on its face and look at me and go, "Thank you," and they walk away. You're such a piece of meat sitting there. Like, you're just sitting there, like, kind of like, you know, what do you do? What do you do? What do you say? Hi, thank you. Like, I wrote a book. Thank you. Well, it's so awkward. But I got to say, I mean, Scott says I have my mother's accent.
You do.
How the hell would he know what my mother sounds like?
Oh, I don't think you want to know.
Son of a bitch. I don't think he's married anymore.
Do tell.
Anywho, did you get that?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that went over your head like it did mine, but anywho.
You gotta be on your toes with Scott.
I do. Scott is unbeatable. I don't know what he learned in prison, but...
Well, he's bringing that all Thursday night here to the network when the Stu comes back to Pair Rock TV following Shantown Kid. How you like them apples, huh?
How can you follow Shantown?
We're going to find out.
Tough act
Looking
to
forward to
follow.
having Scott back. And welcome back to all of the Stu family, which has always been our family. And proven by the photo that we took in Texas with his hands groping my sack.
That's the best picture ever. Yes, Scott actually photobombed Jeff with props.
He got to third base
right
with me.
between Jeff's legs,
Yeah.
right up through the frontal region, and cusped the goods.
He got more action than you did
just
that
as the
weekend.
photo was taken,
did.
and Jeff's face was just priceless. Just priceless. And I actually laughed. I kind of told myself that's going to be like the only time a man is going to do that to my husband. Is Scott Grunwald. So
He did. He got more action that weekend than you did, kid.
yes,
Very much so. Yeah.
Scott just ironed my hair. That was pretty benign, Scott. I didn't get any genital fondling.
No.
Probably out of respect.
Yeah.
Scott respect.
Yeah.
Anywho, so it's been a hell of a week.
Thank you,
Book
Scott.
signing went great.
Thank you.
I just got to stop doing things on weekends before I have a nervous breakdown.
Well, the book was out.
yeah.
The book is out now. It's available at Barnes & Noble booksellers. It's available at Amazon.com. They've already sold out a couple times, haven't they? At Barnes & Noble?
They sold out a few times actually, and they're selling out on Amazon. I have no idea how the book is doing. I just haven't had time. I haven't thought about it. I have no idea what the where we're at. I did just get a shipment of books though at my office, so I do have a couple.
Good.
If anyone needs a book signed, it's very rare that we do that. In fact, Katie Boyd does not even sign books unless it's at a signing. So if anybody needs anything, let me know. I do have a few that I can sacrifice. So all is well. And Jeff, you've been busy.
good.
This Pair Rock is always evolving, and we've got some great, like you said, some great shows coming up. And let's talk about a little bit about our guests that we're going to have on.
Well, we will. We will very shortly. But first, we want to remind everybody to follow us on YouTube. You can search Pair Rock and catch some of the shows that you may have missed here on the network. And that little button down there, guys, the little button that says videos at the bottom of the player is going to take you to our archives as well. And very excited to have coming up after this show, Encounters Live with Tim and Trish Yancey. And this is where it all started for Tim.
Yep.
He talks about his initial haunting, his very violent haunting in his life, and has some words of wisdom for those that may be dealing with the same thing. We want to say hello to those at the David Lynch Foundation of Music. DLFmusic.com is where you'll find those artists supporting transcendental meditation in our youth. And of course, hello to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. The Boys and Girls Clubs are indeed the positive place for kids. And Shannon, as always, as we're going to do before the show gets started, we definitely want to ask everybody to continue to pray for our friend Tiffany Johnson, who suffered a massive stroke some 43 or 44 days ago now.
Crazy.
She is
Still can't believe it.
on the road to recovery, but it is a long, long road back, guys. She is paralyzed on her left side, and every day is a struggle physical therapy, just speech therapy, everything you cannot possibly imagine. She woke up one day and this nightmare entered her and her dear husband's life, and we pray for their strength and again for Tiffany's quick recovery, kid. And I know every day you're up on her Facebook page putting a little heart there. That's really cute of you.
Every day. I think of her every day. And there was one day I forgot to do it, so I did a double heart that day. But I just, I don't want to be one of those people that when she does come together and we're communicating, I'll just say, yeah, I was thinking about you all the time. No, I kind of want to document it. I wanted her to know. She sees her Facebook page. I know that her husband's showing her, and she'll know that every single day we've been thinking about her.
Definitely.
And it's just tragic. I still can't believe it. And I do want to say to Tim, Yancy, and Trish and Gabe, we're very sorry about the loss of your pet, Sassy, today.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you lose a pet, it's tough.
We all know how that goes. We do. And you'll see them in heaven again. You guys know that. So there are 342 other pets left in your home to love. We've been there. But Sassy will be missed.
Definitely. And, there's two types of people in this world, Shannon. There's people that love pets and people that don't. And you can always tell having a conversation with somebody that loves their animal, probably more than they love most people.
Well, if you don't love your pets, though, you're labeled a sociopath. Isn't that the word? If you hate animals.
I guess so.
Yeah, and it always bothers me. And I think 98% of us here watching the show are pet owners. And when you lose a pet and people are like, it's just a dog, it's just a cat.
No, nobody ever says that. No, not in this house.
Fish, yes. Okay, I'm going to take. I've always had
don't
fish
be hating
tanks.
on the fish, kid.
I was always upset, like when my big prize koi died, but upset for like an hour. I mean, you don't really get sad when a fish dies. I mean, maybe when you were younger. I know you had a tragic accident with a betta fish.
I had a very tragic accident.
I've heard the story 8 times in my 10-year relationship with you about this betta fish.
I was marred for life.
And
what can I say? I did.
I mean, but when fish die, or people get attached to hamsters and gerbils and parakeets and.
Well, I'll tell you, when you wake up in the middle of the night as a young child and you feel the fish squashed between your toes, it can be quite tragic for the rest of your God-given life.
Yeah, but that fish was already probably dead. Although a betta fish can live in a puddle for a week. Did you know that?
He's probably
so I have a feeling that fish was probably still alive. They take one breath an hour. So you did kill your fish.
Well, thanks.
Because it was living in that one little puddle when it jumped out of the bowl.
Yeah, it probably jumped out with enough water. It could have sustained
until the morning.
That's right. It probably retained enough water jumping out to sustain life for a while until
you are a murderer, Jeff.
I am. It was the same hallway I skinned my knee up really bad, but that's another story.
Did he have a name?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't know. You don't. Okay, so we didn't really care about the fish.
Oh, stop it! I was 5. That was many years ago. Many years ago. All right, guys, make sure you follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/PTV Rocks. You can find out all the happenings here at the network, all the stuff that's going on with the shows, contests, and you can even put your 2 cents in there if you love something, hate something, whatever it is. You can put it in there, and we'll acknowledge it for sure. Shannon, I used to think that being the Walmart greeter was the lowest of the low jobs on the planet until this guy came along. Yes. This is in front of your local tax office now. And have you guys seen these guys? These guys are dressed up.
You did it!
I did. These guys.
You got the picture!
These guys are dressed up like the Statue of Liberty. And he is actually playing that sign like a guitar.
Oh yeah, they do that every year. Every year
for our friendly folks down in Kentucky.
Jeff, we need to get video though. We just need to interview him.
Oh yeah,
we have to interview.
He's got the headphones on, and I was lucky to get a still shot because he was bouncing around like nobody's business.
Oh yeah.
And for a few months out of the year, come tax season, this is.
I would kill for that job because I would get the best exercise.
Would you really?
I would do that. I don't even care what people think about me, but you would get the best exercise known to man. If you're out there for hours just jamming and dancing, I would love that. Get paid to exercise. That's crazy. Like that. Dawn's right. Some of these people work hard. I mean, he's out there rocking away every second he's out there singing and dancing. He sees me just laughing in the car. I just can't even look at it. It's like no eye contact, but I'm sitting there cracking up.
He's out there dancing and singing, and basically Shannon paints it up like a Zumba class. But you know what, guys? It's 4 degrees out, and the wind and the snow is blowing sideways.
Yeah.
And he's expected to be out there happy as a lark, dancing away. I don't think you want that gig, kid.
I'd do it,
Really.
at least for a day. I should actually go down there and ask them if I could do it. I would do it on Monday.
You want to do it for a day? Maybe you can have a celebrity tax thing. Maybe you could be the.
I could be the
celebrity
celebrity Lady Liberty.
There you go.
Celebrity Lady Liberty.
I will film that. I will.
I
film
would
that.
do it. I'll wear my hair nice and long so everybody recognizes me.
God.
And I will get out there and sing and dance.
Well, good.
If you set it up, I will do it. For
Really?
one day, and make sure
All
it's a Monday because I have Mondays off.
I see a film production in my near future. I really do.
I dare you guys are all witness. I dare
right.
you to hook up that gig.
Okay. And if I do it, you'll do it.
I will do it, and I still want my pay from them. They have to pay me.
You're going to get paid for one day.
But they can tell me it's under the table,
All right.
and I want money, and I'm going to do it for one whole day on my day off.
All right. Well, speaking of who wants money,
Yes.
in a class action lawsuit, consumers across the United States accuse Anheuser-Busch of watering down its Budweiser, Michelob, and
Yep.
other beer brands, reports NBC News. The lawsuit says that consumers have been cheated out of alcohol content printed on the labels. Budweiser and Michelob supposedly contain 5% alcohol, while light versions are supposed to contain about 4%. While many have joked about the watered-down taste of Bud for years, this man including one of them, the something behind the lawsuit is apparently some high-level leaks at Anheuser-Busch. These leaks allegedly show that a matter of corporate practice, the company had been watering down specified beers in a cost-cutting measure. The lawsuit accuses the company of adding water just before the beer is bottled, and that the excess water cuts the alcohol content by 3%,
Nice.
reports NBC. Anheuser-Busch calls the lawsuit groundless and says it was in full compliance with the alcohol labeling laws. Shannon, what do you think about Budweiser, the already pissed down watered beer? What would you do if you found out that your favorite brew was watered down?
I would just not drink it anymore and find another beer. That's just, first of all, people that drink that stuff, it's just, I mean, that's why you're paying like 50 cents a can for it. But obviously, I would never drink it again and move on to another brand. This is catastrophic for the marketing.
It is for
Absolutely.
Budweiser's supposed to be the king of beers, right?
Not anymore.
No?
I'm sorry, but do they need to do that? Are they making not enough money where
That's-
they have to cut corners like that?
That's really what it's a tragedy for America. That's what I say. There's
I just
a lot of
don't get it.
money out there.
I think that's just a major problem. Big time.
Well, in this consumer fraud action, the plaintiffs are accusing the beer giant of not providing what they claim to be providing. For example, if you buy a beer labeled as having 5% alcohol, you should rightly expect to get a beer with that content and not a beer that's 3 to 8% less alcohol. This is akin to purchasing a car that touts itself having passenger side airbags only to discover there's nothing behind the dashboard. Or maybe perhaps a car that gets 40 miles to the gallon and
Yeah.
ends up getting 20 miles to the gallon. False advertising happens every day.
Yeah.
The plaintiffs who have filed the lawsuit include formal loyal customers who claim they have purchased a six-pack a week, as well as the businesses they have purchased several cases of beer per month. If found liable, Anheuser-Busch could be on the hook for reimbursing these consumers as well as paying additional penalties. 10 Anheuser-Busch products are being named in the lawsuit, including Bud, Bud Ice, Bud Light, Bud Platinum, Michelob, Mick Ultra, Hurricane High Gravity Lager, King Cobra, Busch Ice, Natural Ice, and Bud Light Lime. And obscure reference, King of the Hill, Shannon. Remember when Hank brought home the lousy beer from Alamo, and they
Yes.
were putting some stuff in it and gave everybody the shits?
Was it skunked or something like
They
that?
gave everybody the shits.
They
went
that's
to sue
right.
their beer company.
I have a total solution for this lawsuit.
Okay.
They can just claim that everything was mispackaged. It was supposed to be the new Bud Lighter line.
Bud Lighter.
The Bud Lighter instead of Bud Light. That's all it was. They were just making it even lighter than the Bud Light, and they forgot to advertise it and package it that way.
I'm going to kick your ass.
They'll just blame it on somebody that they've let go, and or they'll make a nice little payoff for someone to take the blame, and they'll get out of that nice lawsuit. But you don't need to water down light beer. That's ridiculous. Isn't it the ale that you could actually water down and afford to It's just anywho.
It is. It is. Well, this is a big story, Shannon. Doctors have made a landmark breakthrough in the treatment of HIV after they cured a baby with the virus. You guys hear about this? A baby girl that had been infected by her mother was diagnosed as HIV positive during labor. Because of the high infection risk, the baby was given an accelerated program of medication, started with three standard HIV drugs instead of the usual one when just about 30 hours old. It seems to have blasted the virus into remission and prevented it from taking root in the baby's cells. Now 2 years old, the girl from Mississippi is in remission.
Oh, the baby's 2 now?
No.
Oh.
She's 2 years old, and she's in remission. Blood tests showing no signs that the virus is present, and this is known as a functional cure. Experts say that the groundbreaking development paves the way for other children to be treated before the virus takes hold. Last night, at a major AIDS meeting in Atlanta, the case was declared a major landmark in the battle to find a cure for the disease. Study leader Dr. Deborah Persaud of Johns Hopkins Children's Center in Baltimore said the toddler is now free from the potentially fatal disease. Dr. Anthony Fauci of the National Institutes of Health says you can call this about as close to a cure, if not a cure, that we have ever seen.
Wow.
Huge news, Shannon.
I didn't realize the baby is now 2.
Yeah. That's why it's such a big deal, because they started aggressive treatment at 30 hours because the mom was HIV positive, and now at 2 years old, the baby is HIV free, which is huge. They have in essence, fundamentally cured AIDS. Big day. Huge.
If I'm alive for that, that's just huge. Like, I would go out and celebrate. That's huge, just amazingly huge. I mean, I used to be an AIDS educator when I was in high school, remember?
Yes, you were.
And
you were indeed.
Used to go to prisons and malls and hand out condoms and talk to people about AIDS and little kids' schools, and very, very big on AIDS education out there, AIDS awareness. Right. I was part of the largest AIDS awareness organization in the world. And I volunteered up until about a year ago. I finally terminated my position with them.
The gentleman who used to do a website for
John,
and that's his
Dr.
site?
John Chittick is a world traveler, a missionary, goes around the world educating people. Teenaids.org. I'll actually post it in the
post
website.
That in the chat room for everybody.
He did move away to North Carolina, so I lost my contact with him, and he found another bunch of volunteers out there, which is just wonderful. So, it's just sad because when the disease first came out, people really were stereotyping and assuming that people that were sick with AIDS could not be touched or spoken to or breathed next to or even lived around. So, amazing. I really hope this is a cure.
All right, well, very excited about the rest of the show here coming up, because when we come back later in the show, Sgt Chuck Losey joins us all the way from Afghanistan.
Yay.
When we come back, your Facebook fan photos, and who does that with our own Shannon Sylvia. Stick around.
When you or someone you love needs licensed health care, Pacific Health Services gives you an option to enjoy life in your own home. Licensed RN and LVN nurses come to you when you need them. Physical, speech, and respiratory therapy are only some of the specialties that you can now get in the privacy and comfort of your home, along with diabetic, trach, and cardio care. Certified by Medicare and accredited by the National Joint Commission, Pacific Health Services are there every step of the way to make your home health easy and carefree. Call today at 213-387-9552 or ask your doctor to fax to 213-387-9553. You can also visit them at PacificHealthServicesAtHome.com. Get the care you need and enjoy life in your own home today. This message paid for by Pacific Health Services, Los Angeles, California.
I could smoke cocaine for hours, start talking to the flowers, and act like I'm insane. I could rob convenience stores and hang out with crack whores if I didn't have a brain. I could see my life start narrowing as I started shooting heroin, 1 foot into the grave. I could sleep in street gutters and steal money from my mother if I didn't have a brain. Oh, I like to get high, run naked down the street, a little bit too far. I throw up in some cop's car. Then I wake up in a prison and I notice something's missing. I think it's dignity. Oh, there's nothing more pleasing waking up, coughing and wheezing in cell block number 3. Oh, there's nothing more pleasing waking up, coughing and wheezing in cell block number 3. Oh.
Hey everyone, this is Scott Rockenfield from Queensrÿche, and you're watching Terror Rock TV.
And now back to Up for Discussion right here on Terror Rock TV.
Now when you're down and feeling bleak, oh baby, it's time for the Facebook fan photo of the week. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
These are your Facebook fan photos of the week. We gather them, we share them, and together we love them. And in this first Facebook fan photo, it's in the spirit of camouflage. Day 3, humans think I'm still lost. You see the little puppy there, kid?
Oh,
Little puppy in the rug. From Ree in Baltimore. Well, that's if you're going to do camo, that's the way to do it. Like a chameleon in its
that's
surroundings.
the perfect rug. It's awesome.
That's cute. Our second Facebook fan photo comes to us from Sue in Connecticut, and that is entitled Generation Gap, folks. And see how the old man is wearing his pants where old men used to wear theirs, and the young man is wearing his pants where they do. And
It's so true.
I hate that. I hate how they wear their
You
pants
did that the
down
other
like
day. I wanted to take a picture and you wouldn't let
I
me.
didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, but it's so cute.
Oh, for fuck's
Watching a
sakes.
47-year-old man pull his pants down like that.
I didn't do it on purpose. At least I don't wear them up
So
like
cute.
Urkel.
You had your little silky boxers on under.
All right. Our third Facebook fan photo comes to us from Ellen in Boston. And first of all, I want this guy's autograph. And second of all, Shannon is asking, when am I going to take up figure skating?
I can't wait to start training.
Giggity.
Giggity. That's magic.
That's something, all right.
She's just floating right up there in midair.
That's my new superhero right there.
I wonder if that's hard to do.
Figure skating man. Love him.
It's always a lot harder than it
your
looks.
Facebook fan photos of the week. And now, without any further ado, your favorite segment of all time of the show. Oh yeah, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia. You should have been like Tosh.0.
What's that?
How many comments? You would put 30 seconds on the clock?
I would
Just read the
shriek under
comments from the-
pressure. I would just choke.
Yeah.
All right.
You'd choke with that guy, that's for sure. You can hold up that figure skate.
First story of the night comes from Indiana. And of course, my friend from Indiana just logged out of the chat room. An Indiana man got the attention of local police after he tried to order a cheeseburger by calling 911 9 times.
Oh, God.
Folks, this is still happening.
I specifically asked for little turkey and little ham and a lot of cheese and a lot of mayonnaise, and they're giving me a hard time. I'm wondering if you stop by and just
Who is this?
This is Rob McGlynn. I was just wondering if you could just
You're calling 911 because you don't like the way that they're making your sandwich?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to get back to the story. All right, so 52-year-old Gregory Jackson Sr. has reportedly had past run-ins with police, but this may be the most bizarre, Jeffrey. Jackson repeatedly made the 9 phone calls in only 90 minutes. Eventually, Newcastle, Indiana police showed up at Jackson's home and arrested him. Finally, the dispatcher sent police to Jackson's residence, though despite the series of strange calls, the dispatcher was reportedly concerned why Jackson was calling because he hadn't eaten food in a long time. A partial transcript of the exchange between Jackson and the 911 dispatcher who spoke with him is as follows.
Is this when we get to role play?
Yes. Just go with it.
Do you have an emergency, sir? Because you've dialed 911.
I dialed 911.
Yes, you've dialed 911.
Okay, so why did you... Wait. Oops, you're the dispatcher.
Didn't you go to Hollywood or something? That's my line. Okay, so why did you dial 911? What do you need, sir? Do you have an emergency?
A cheeseburger.
Have a good day, sir. And then he calls back. Hello, this is 911. What is your emergency?
Yes, I just spoke with you. You hung up on me.
Well, I asked if you had an emergency. You said no, you needed a cheeseburger. So we don't need to take any cheeseburger orders.
And still Jackson calls back demanding a cheeseburger from the dispatcher.
Well, you know, if you give me some information, maybe we can help you out.
Finally, the dispatcher was on the phone with Jackson when authorities arrived on the scene.
Do you hear the knocking, sir?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. And they're in. There's your sign.
Police apparently did not arrive with cheeseburgers in hand. They have yet to charge him over the series of 911 calls. Instead, they arrested him on a separate outstanding warrant charges for failing to show up to an appointed court date regarding a separate charge.
Of course they did.
Who does that?
To get a life. Stop calling 911, people. All right. Second story comes from Grosse Pointe Shores, Michigan. February 21st, the story hailed. Facebook spokesperson apologized for a Michigan woman's inconvenience in being able to list her actual birth year as 1908.
Aww.
Gail Marlowe said her grandmother, Marguerite Joseph, 104 years old, of Grosse Pointe, Michigan, registered for Facebook 2 years ago, and the furthest date back the social networking site will allow her to use is 1928, according to the television network WDIV. Marlowe, who reads and responds to Facebook messages on her grandmother's behalf, said that the woman is legally blind and hard of hearing. Facebook spokesperson Andrew Noyes said the company was unaware of the issue before learning of Joseph's difficulty. We are working on a fix for this. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Who does that?
And there you go. If you guys want to add a friend, Marguerite Joseph, there she is. A little cutie.
Why would Facebook limit the amount of years that you could put on your birthday? That's so stupid. Another Michigan story, another who does that for you, comes out of Jackson. A Michigan woman said her 10-pound baby was born via emergency cesarean section the same day she learned she was pregnant.
That's one big baby.
Okay, so the 44-year-old went to Allegiance Health Care in Jackson Friday to receive a CT scan for a suspected hernia. Doctors soon discovered she was pregnant. And quite pregnant. Yes. That's the baby named Kimberly K. Ackley, born via emergency C-section at 11:20 p.m. Friday. Imagine their surprise. The mother and newborn daughter were discharged from the hospital on Monday. She's our miracle baby, Ackley says. She thought she was unable to get pregnant after going extensive abdominal surgery for an infection 2 years ago. Mike Ackley said calling the pregnancy a surprise does not even come close. I wish someone would have taken a picture of my face when they told me, he said. However, Ackley said he was overjoyed by the birth, which he said was the second miracle after Linda's survival 2 years ago. First my wife came back to me, and now I have a baby girl. Aww. Sweet story.
Who does that?
However, she did not know she was pregnant with a 10-pound baby inside of her.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna insult. Let's just go on to our guest because I could have a field day with this one.
You get a double one.
I'm gonna. You know
who
how
does that?
Yeah, you know who does that? Your ex-wife. Oops, had a baby on the kitchen floor. Didn't know she was pregnant. True story. Yeah, but Jeff delivered the baby. Proud man. And he's now a grandfather. So.
Not that baby.
Well, your baby boy grew up and had his own baby.
Well,
the right way.
That is an absolute true story now that Shannon's let the cat out of the bag. Mm-hmm. It was back when they didn't do ultrasound. We thought we were pregnant. We had a miscarriage, and 2 weeks later, my son was born on my bathroom floor. I delivered him. Yeah.
You muted me.
Bathroom floor.
You muted me.
I delivered him. All right, kid, when we come back, we have our guest, Sgt Chuck Losey. If you guys want to know what's going on in Afghanistan, just ask him. We'll be right back, guys, after this.
Hey guys, this is Sean Burton from Ville TV. Join me every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my lovely co-host Kat for Ville TV on PararockTV.com.
Hi, I'm Bill Murphy from Fact or Fake Paranormal File. You're watching Pararock TV.
Really? Oh, little pimp.
We have 200 of them.
That's it.
All right, joining us now all the way from Afghanistan, Sgt Chuck Losey. Chuck, are you with us?
I am here. How are you doing?
Well, first of all, thank you for joining us, and thank you, of course, for your service to our country. You are, first of all, why don't you tell us your name, your rank, and what company you're in, and all that good stuff. Let's get the formalities out of the way.
I'll look at the formalities. I'm with the Massachusetts National Guards with the 181st Engineer Company out of Camp Edwards, Mass, down at the Cape.
And this is, you've been on how many tours now?
This is number 2 right now for me. I was in Iraq back in 2003 to 2004 when that was first kicking off.
Wow. Well, again, thank you so much, and thank all the servicemen for your service to our country.
Yeah.
All of us here certainly appreciate what you do, and we're very grateful for what you do.
Thank you
for starters, I just wanted to kind of get into it and what's it like over there? I mean, I know folks in the chat room have a ton of questions that are going to come your way. What is your normal day like? I mean, we read so much in the paper, and we'll get to all of that propaganda that we see on the news, but what is your normal day like? How does it start for you being overseas for our country?
Okay, my normal day starts off, I wake up. Okay. No, it's just I have a regular job. I work at the motor pool with the mechanics. Everybody has different jobs around here. We just wake up, go down to the motor pool, grab some breakfast beforehand, and our guys start turning wrenches at 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. It's a regular day. Come back to our tent, hang out for the rest of the night, go to sleep, repeat. It's like Groundhog Day here every day.
Very cool, very cool. Now, a lot of the stuff that you read in the papers and that you see on the news, talks about the culture there and talks about, the people. What do you see from the people? What kind of messages do you get from everyday folks when you bump into them on the street or in the towns?
Well, first off, we don't really get to leave our fob at all to have dealings with or interactions with the locals. We do actually have some locals that work on our fob, but what I get out of it, the average Afghani doesn't even know what's going on. They have no idea why we're here, what we're doing here. 72% of the Afghanistan nation is illiterate, so they don't read. They can't even read their own language. So it's hard for them to even comprehend what's going on. But for the most part, the ones that I talk to, they love us being here. They know we're trying to help them out, but they're still very wary of us being here. But, all in all, they're not really that bad people.
Now, when you say wary of you being there, how so? Does it just make them uncomfortable knowing that there's a military presence that they don't understand? How would you confer that they're leery or wary of you being there?
Well, exactly, Jeff. Exactly what I was going to touch on. You got to think this country, its location has been vital through thousands of years. They've been at battle for for thousands of years, either amongst themselves or with other nations. The last big one, of course, was the Soviet back in the late 70s, early 80s, where the Soviets tried to take over, and basically the Afghans, they kicked the crap out of them and sent them packing. And basically, they think that we are invaded them, U.S. troops. So, of course, they're going to be wary of our presence. And, you know, they're going to have the raised eyebrow like, hey, what are these guys doing here? You know, how come they're still here? You know, 2000, we came over here, and here it is, 2013, and we're still here. You know, longer than Vietnam almost. And, you know, I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just like, I just want to, you know, all these troops are packing up. And, you know, our job is done here and come on home.
So, not to put words in your mouth, and I know there's only certain things you can and cannot talk about. You are in the National Guard. You've served now. You're on your second tour overseas. Do you believe that our cause is just there? I mean, do you think? I heard you say that we need to come home now. Do you think that we needed to go there in the first place?
Well, initially, we came over here to do a job, just like we did when we were in Iraq. I was in Iraq when they captured Saddam Hussein, and everybody right then and there thought, hey, the war is over, we're all done here. The Iraqi people needed us to help them rebuild their nation and try to put a democracy back into their nation, which I thought was kind of foolish. That's just my own opinion. They've been, you know, over here in Afghanistan, we came over here to do a mission, and that mission was to fight the Taliban, to fight Al-Qaeda, to fight the big war on terrorism as everybody sees and reads about. Our job is done. That, in my own opinion, we caught Osama bin Laden, we killed him, you know, dumped him out in the ocean somewhere, parts unknown. We're still here rebuilding, trying to help the Afghani nation out. And from what I get from them is they really don't want our help. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I'm getting from them. They can care less if we're here for a year or if we're here for 20 years. It doesn't matter to them. I don't think it really does.
We've got some great questions coming in from the chat room. You know, what you're describing to me is kind of like, you know, some other superpower coming in and maybe trying to take over Wall Street. It sounds more like we're there to rebuild economically and then to protect at this point. Is that an accurate statement, you think?
Well, right now we're trying to do both. We're trying to help the Afghanistans not only bring back to gain an economical foothold with their country, but also to help them protect themselves from, you know, still with Al-Qaeda and the Taliban cells that are over here. We're training their armies, we're training their police, and some, like I said, some just don't get it. They really don't. Others do. Others want to help themselves, but others could really care less, which I think is sad. They go about their business. I
mean, you talk about training, and you mentioned that we've been over there for 10 years. Hell, you can get a medical degree in 10 years and train to be a doctor, for God's sakes. I wouldn't think that, you know, if they're going to get it, it wouldn't take 10 years for their forces to be trained properly, although I'm sure they're at an incredible disadvantage, you know, with money and with skills, I would imagine.
Well, their skills, most of the best fighters that they have here, unfortunately, are on the other side with the Taliban. The ANA, which stands for Afghan National Army, they're the ones that are trained here. Like I said, they could really care less if we're even here. I read an article in Newsweek Weekly last month saying that President Barack Obama and President Karzai over here in Afghanistan said the military training is, you know, just about finished and that we can go home. Well, it's really hasn't even begun, and I really don't think it's even remotely close to being finished. These, like I said, they really don't, you know, want to help themselves for the most part. They could care less.
Wow. We do have a call coming in. 859, you're online with Sgt Chuck Losey and Jeff and Shannon on Up for Discussion. Hello.
Yes, hello. This is Catherine Losey.
Hi, Catherine. How
Hi,
are
Catherine.
you? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm calling
Distant
from
cousin.
Bellevue, Kentucky, and this will be the first time I'm actually speaking with Chuck.
That is so cool. And you are Chuck's cousin calling from Kentucky, correct?
Well, his cousin about 100 times removed, apparently. We haven't figured that out quite yet, but I'm definitely thinking he's a cousin, and so that's a good thing. We just met on Facebook recently, so.
Aw.
Oh, that's very, very cool. So what would you like to ask or say to your cousin Chuck in Afghanistan?
Well, I just wanted to say, Chuck, stay frosty, and your last few months there, just make them as safe as possible. Can't wait to see more of the pictures you post on Facebook. He posts the most amazing photographs. You wouldn't believe some of the pictures he takes, and he has submitted some to some magazines, and so it's really exciting to see that.
Very, very cool.
He does take good pictures, I'll admit. Very, very good pictures, Chuck.
Well, thank you very much. I try to do my best with the equipment that I have, which is actually a small Nikon Coolpix 8200, which you can fit in the palm of your hand.
Nice.
And for the most part, those pictures are taken from a moving vehicle that I do take, and some of them I do touch up a bit. Others I leave normal. So, it is what it is. I see something. I'm like, hey, that'll make a cool picture. I take it, and I get all this positive feedback, which makes me, feel really good about taking the pictures over here.
Well,
yeah, the pictures are awesome, and I'm sorry to say I've missed the entire show. We've got a power outage here in northern Kentucky. We're expecting about 10 inches of snow, and which is a big snowfall for us here in this area, considering our winters are mostly mild. So I've missed the entire show. I feel bad.
Oh, no problem.
We will be putting it up on the archive for you, and we'll run it in rotation so you can enjoy this and be able to see Chuck and hear everything that you missed. I promise.
That's good. Chuck, hang in there. You just got a little bit of time left, buddy, and we'll be able to talk more again soon.
I know, Catherine. Thank you very much, and thank you, Dad, Larry, and your mom, Doe, for everything. Thank you.
I will. I'll do that.
All right.
Thanks, Catherine.
Thanks so much for calling in.
Now, Chuck, I got to ask. First of all, I got to say, you and I went to school together. We've been longtime friends, and
yes.
And it's been a privilege to have known you and to find out that you were doing this for our country. So thank you. A couple of questions are coming in.
I've been doing it since high school. It's crazy to say that 23 years later, I'm still wearing a uniform.
Yeah. Big time. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And you enjoy what you do, from what you've said to me. And you also enjoy pancakes. Thank you.
I honestly do enjoy this.
And people, speaking of food, they want to know, how is the local food there? Do they have fresh fruits and vegetables like we do here?
They do. I have sampled fresh pomegranates that are out of this world. They're excellent. Meat-wise, I really haven't tried any meat. Like I said, when I was in Iraq, I got out quite a bit and sampled a lot of the local stuff in very, very substandard conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Same as over get very sick. But the food was good over there. Over here, really haven't got a chance to sample of any of the local delicacies that they do have over here.
So what he's saying, Shannon, is he's one of the bravest men and one of the biggest heroes we'll ever meet. He carries a rifle in one of the most dangerous parts of the world, but he won't try the meat.
No.
Not that brave.
Not even the camel.
Not that brave. Somebody was asking, do you think that we'll ever get out of Afghanistan? Do you think that we're there indefinitely, or do you think there's an end to this?
No, I think the end will be coming shortly. I'm just going by what President Obama was saying about it. By 2014, we'll all be out of here. They're starting to draw down now. I don't know if we're going to be present here in the future. Leave a few thousand troops behind, or we're going to totally pull out 100%. Which, to me, I think we should be pulling out everybody 100%. But I think in the back of my mind that there will be some type of contingency forces here to help them out in the future.
Makes sense. A lot of great comments coming in from the chat room. You are a hero to everybody in the chat room. Everybody's making sure and wishing you to come home safely and thanking you, of course, for what you do. Do you need anything out there? It was one of the questions coming in. What can people send you as far as care packages go? What do the troops need? We hear about the lip balm and we hear about the stuff like that. What are you guys longing for out there that we could send?
A hug.
Aww. Lisa, did you hear that?
When I was in Iraq, I got care packages every so often, which were awesome. Being here, they have not stopped. I cannot thank all my friends, families, loved ones. It's crazy. Like, we have so much stuff that is filling up, but if anybody wants to help, like a huge thing, like I always say, we love the baby wipes. It doesn't care what kind. I like scented myself.
The baby butt wipes, of course.
People, we love the beef jerky when we go out on missions. Beef jerky, like even cans of tuna, like those Bumblebee Sensations, the ones with the flavors. Those are awesome. Like a quick meal. Any type of like power or energy bar. I'm just trying to think. It's just like, people send candy. Toiletries, we really don't need like any type of cosmetics. We have a small PX here. Other places don't have the luxuries like I do here where I'm at, but whatever I get, I usually give out to the troops just passing by my tent. I mean, I leave boxes of stuff out. In fact, the other day I got 12 cases of golf clubs in and 5 boxes of balls, and I just sat outside my tent and handed them out.
I bet you guys are going to be real good out of the sand traps by the time you get home, right?
Yeah, we've been practicing, but we had a couple of the mechanics construct an actual T-mat with some thick rug and on a piece of a sheet of plywood. So we've been taking the drivers out as well.
Oh, there you go. Now, you talked before about some of the pictures, and we've been putting up a couple of them here and there. You do take quite a few pictures of children, and one in particular, I know that you can't see, but one in particular is a child in a red coat with her thumb up. Now, she's not really giving you the thumbs up. What is she actually doing, and what is she asking for?
No, when I first went out and I started going up missions up north to resupply our guys, you see them with the thumbs up, so you give them the thumbs up because to us, that's good job. And when I was in Iraq, that's what it means, good job. But when they put the thumbs up, they're actually looking for food. They're looking for handouts from us. And, it is sad.
Yeah.
Being in Iraq and compared to this place is in shambles over here. It's really sad. You see those little kids I take pictures of, they're by themselves. There's no adults around whatsoever. They're on the side of the road looking for food. And I'm not just saying that to tug at heartstrings. You can ask any of my guys. You go through any village, little kids will run up to the road by themselves, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up, 11, 12 years old, looking for food, looking for us to throw them out food. We might be able to, kick out a couple little treats to them, but we don't want them running out to the roads and get hit by us. So we kind of we tend to shy away from throwing them food, which to me I think is unfortunate because when I was in Iraq, I probably gave away thousands of MREs and thousands of bottled waters as we're going through villages.
Wow. Now you see the famine, you see the children, you see the helpless people that don't really understand that we're there, and then you see people that look just like them taking up arms against you, known as the Taliban and those that are insurgent forces. How do you distinguish between the two? Is there really a way to distinguish between the two without the intelligence coming from that region?
You don't, and that's the scary thing. I mean, I bounce back and forth when I use examples from Iraq to Afghanistan. In Iraq, you go through a village, and they would be hiding in the village, and as your recon is going through, they'd shoot at you. It's the same over here. You don't know.
Wow.
But the only thing that we can really differentiate that I've seen is over in Iraq, a lot more people carry weapons in the cities, but over here they really don't. But you don't know. They they'll be waving at you 1 second, and as soon as you go by, they could be hitting you with an IED or taking up arms and shooting at you, and that's what we have to deal with. Unfortunately, it's the not knowing of what's going to happen, coming around the corner or going through a city, what's going to happen to you, because you don't know. Even with the intelligence that we have, all we know is, okay, there's a little bit of activity going on in the city, but you don't know where, you don't know how, or what they're doing.
Wow. Boy, if you can imagine, being at home and being a police officer with absolutely no intelligence and walking in and not knowing who the bad guys are, that's got to be quite something to deal with there. Nate asks, are conditions getting better for you guys? Are they getting better for the locals, the Afghanis, since we've been there? Have you noticed a difference in the conditions there, and have we made that difference?
Okay, conditions as far as what, like overall living conditions or quality of life, or
I believe that's what he's asking. Yeah, are the conditions getting better for them over there since we've been a presence there?
Like I said, I haven't been over here that long, but if you go around and see, they're building everything themselves. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's some places that I haven't been that I know we've built schools for them. Excuse me, and some other either some, not parliament buildings, but we did help initially build schools, and they build their own mosques. I know that because we can't have any part in that, but you see it all around. Their conditions over here, I would think, would probably be the same with some help. I mean, you really don't see anything that's, I don't even know how to word it. It's just, you just see it and it's like, how could they live in these conditions? Because that's what we always say. It's like, these conditions are horrible, and how could they live in them? But you're driving down the road, there's a mud hut with a satellite dish on it, so they must be doing pretty good for themselves.
Oh my goodness!
They're probably watching you right now.
yeah, they're probably tuned in. But again, a lot of comments from the chat room, a lot of positive comments. Wishing you well. Come home safely. You are indeed a hero to all of us here at home, and very much appreciate what you guys do over there. You're going to have a ton of requests coming in your Facebook page, by the way. Shannon's making friends for you as we speak here in the chat room. Your inbox is going to be flooded, and I'm sure everybody here appreciates what you do.
Oh, thank you very much. And I just real quick, definitely a lot of people like to throw that word hero around. We're just over here doing our job. It would be like you guys going to work every day and someone calling you a hero. That's the way we feel about it, and we're just over here doing what we like doing. It's our job, and we know what we're in for.
Well, freedom isn't free. We all realize that, and although all of us do their jobs, we're certainly not in a dangerous situation where we have to carry the weapons that you guys do and worry about the dangers and coming home to our families. So there is an element there that I think sets you guys aside from us civilians, and for that we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, my friend.
Well, I thank you. I thank Shannon. And I thank you, Jeff, for all the support you have given me, and while I'm over here, and all the listeners. That that's all we want to hear. It's a thank you every now and again. You don't have to be elaborate. It's just a thank you and a handshake, and be on your way. And we appreciate everything you guys are doing for us back home.
Awesome. Sgt. Chuck Losey has been our guest tonight. Again, we're going to replay this for the guys over there tomorrow. Hopefully you can gather a crowd there and they can see your premiere debut on television, Chuck.
yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get razzed about that, but it is what it is. I can deal with it.
Awesome. Thanks again for everything you do. We really appreciate it.
Not a problem. I thank you for having me on the show. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Be safe out there, buddy.
Pleasure. Be safe and definitely come home safe.
I will. I thank you.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. On behalf of myself, my lovely co-host Shannon Sylvia. Coming up next is Encounters Live with Tim and Trish Yancey. This is where it all started for Tim. This is the first time he talks about his hauntings, his violent hauntings, and his personal experience. Part 1 of a 2-part series. So, guys, stick around for that. And from all of us here at PTV, good night, folks.
See you.
Brother whiskey and sister nicotine. I must admit you got your claws in me.